Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar and call. And as promised, we have a good one. It's going to be discussing arginine and high blood pressure and what can be done to be able to help with high blood pressure. We're going to get into really what the statistics show as far as high blood pressure is concerned, just how many people are dealing with this, and many people don't even know that they have it, and that's why it's called a silent killer. We're going to talk about research that has been done in various prestigious journals dealing with high blood pressure. We're going to talk a little bit about some doctors have been using it in their practices and getting good results. And the funnest part for me is hearing from folks that have actually put it into their life and consuming it and getting really great results. And that way other people that are listening can say, hey, you know, the research shows it, that's all well and good, but when you hear a real live story of an individual who struggled with these various issues, they started consuming arginine and citrulline and vitamin D and the various things that we're going to talk about tonight, all these things that help to really increase nitric oxide, then people can say, hey, maybe it'll work for me. And that's what it's all about, just giving people hope and be able to help them to say, hey, look, let me try it. So keep in mind with our call and the information that we share, we want you to make sure that you go back to the person that invited you to this call, get back with that individual so they can help you to be able to get the nutrients that we're going to talk about tonight. So please do that. Arginine and high blood pressure. I'm Dr. Jay Wilkins, and I am an arginine formulator, and I have a website called the Arginine Doc, and it is all about testimonials and videos and research and blogs and books and all things about arginine and nitric oxide. That is what the Arginine Doc is all about, and I have a friend that works with me on that website to keep it fresh and to keep all the new things and latest things coming through. And it is more exciting than life on Mars. That actually is a quote from Dr. Merrill from his book called The Arginine Solution. And that's what he said about all the research on arginine and nitric oxide, that the doctors and biophysicists and different ones that work with people's health, it definitely is more exciting than life on Mars. And since I've been using it with people and recommending it for the last 6 years, I feel the same way. It has just been so impressive to see the results. You almost feel like you recommend this, people try it, and you just feel confident that they're going to get the results that they're looking for. So let's talk about some of the facts regarding high blood pressure. 76.4 million U.S. adults have been diagnosed with high blood pressure. And as we're going to get into, many people have not been diagnosed, but they have high blood pressure. They don't realize it. And so it's actually been called the silent killer because many people don't know they have it. Many people don't know what it's doing to their arteries. And for many people, arterial disease of any sort is very painless and comes with no symptoms. So these are some different facts from the American Heart Association, some of the most current statistics. So what really is high blood pressure? Well, according to the American Heart Association, that's anything over 140 for the top number, or the systolic, and anything over 90 for the diastolic. So this has to do with when the heart pumps for the systolic, and then when the heart's at rest for the diastolic. So, and then people might be in what's considered the pre-hypertensive or the pre-high blood pressure stage, anything over 130 or so. So it is something to really be concerned about. It is a risk factor for strokes and heart attacks and those type of things. Now, what is some of the complications or dangers of having high blood pressure? Well, it can affect the eyes, in which some people can even have problems with blindness and various things when they have high blood pressure. High blood pressure, also affects the brain, and it's been noted that strokes and TIAs have been caused from high blood pressure. Heart problems like angina, heart attacks, and heart failure, where fluid builds up around the heart, enlarged heart, all those things are complications of high blood pressure. It puts a lot of stress on the kidneys and can lead to kidney failure as well as even the legs, and lead to peripheral arterial disease. And that's to name just a few statistics, and there's even more on some of the complications of high blood pressure and what it can do. So now somebody has high blood pressure, and let's talk a little bit about what causes high blood pressure. And basically it all goes back to the damage to the endothelium, or the inner part of the artery, which is the cause of really all cardiovascular diseases. And in one way or another, the blood vessel gets constricted and narrowed, and when you have a narrowed blood vessel, it puts more pressure for that blood to get through. So that's why the pressure will raise. When there's constriction, it takes more pressure to get the blood through a narrow constricted artery. So that's where that term and how you really get high blood pressure. And so in one way or another, what medications will do is they try to be able to relax the blood vessel so it takes the pressure off the arterial wall. So again, it goes back to damaged endothelium, which is really a lack of nitric oxide, as that's what the endothelium does, is to help make that good, important gas called nitric oxide. So now you've been given the diagnosis of high blood pressure. What are your options? Well, here's a great book called The High Blood Pressure Hoax, and this is written by Dr. Sherry Rogers. And in Chapter 1, the very first chapter, she addresses head-on the complications of taking blood pressure medications. In fact, that chapter is called High Blood Pressure Medications Are Downright Dangerous. And that's one thing I like about Dr. Rogers, is she's a medical doctor, but she's not really much of an advocate of medications, and she's very honest, very straightforward. She does not water it down at all. So in Chapter 2, she gets right into what people can do in a natural way. And bottom line, somebody has to boost their silver lining of longevity. What is the silver lining of longevity? Dr. Rogers says it's getting that endothelium, that inner lining of the blood vessels, get it healthy, get rid of the endothelial dysfunction, and as brought out there, arginine can reverse high blood pressure. That is a direct quote from The High Blood Pressure Hoax. So that's good news. There is something that people can do in a natural way that does not have all these dangerous side effects, and arginine is a great way to deal with that. The arginine solution, in Chapter 7 of that book, Drs. Freed and Merrill talk all about high blood pressure. The whole chapter is dedicated to what arginine can do, and the name of that chapter is Pressure Drop, the Natural Way to Lower Blood Pressure. How is it that arginine works? Well, it works by the ADNO linked to blood pressure. And ADNO stands for arginine-derived nitric oxide. So that's what it's all about, getting that blood pressure down. And they quote several very prestigious, very well-known cardiovascular journals that talk about the benefits of arginine and nitric oxide, such as the Journal of Cardiovascular Pharmacology, the Lancet, Circulation, Journal of the American College of Cardiology. So this isn't just some folklore science, but this is real science that's found its way in many of the medical books and journals. In fact, to date, there are some 100,000 studies on arginine and nitric oxide and what it can do. Arginine is cardiologist approved. Dr. Stephen Sinatra, in his book called Reverse Heart Disease Now, Stop Deadly Cardiovascular Plaque Before It's Late, talks about how it actually deals with high blood pressure, heart attacks, and much more. And this is what Dr. Sinatra says in his book. He says, L-arginine has value for the whole gamut of atherosclerosis, from early signs such as high blood pressure and erectile dysfunction to advanced cardiac events. We feel it offers promise for plaque stabilization and reversal. It is inexpensive and non-toxic. We use it clinically for treating angina, high blood pressure, erectile dysfunction, and 7 risk factors we can't otherwise improve. And he is quite a cardiologist. He does operations, he does use medications at times, but he's a big advocate for arginine and what it can do for high blood pressure.